folks, welcome to the Sloppy Boys, where we take a deep dive into the drinks that you love. I'm Jeff Dutton, along with Mike Hanford and Tim Kalpakis.
What is up?
You
got his name right.
Maybe we do more of a serious talk.
Sort of a Charlie Rose thing. Sort of somber. How's it going for you guys?
Well, you know, this week is my tax week. You know, when you do tax week, it takes me a week to fill out this thing that my tax preparer gives to me that makes it easier on her.
Mike, it just takes me a week to build up the gumption to tackle it.
Like today was just like getting the pages all out on like my desk. And then
I know every page I'm like, ugh.
Everything I think is printed, and I was like, yeah, okay, I can fill out my name and address. I know those.
My social, sure.
I'll do the easy stuff and circle back.
Do the easy stuff tonight.
Like as if tomorrow, because today I thought it was like, I'm going to sit down at it and just do it. What's there to do? You just do it. Add up the numbers.
You have to dig into all these stupid fucking things, and it's like, oh, I need to get that thing, but my password doesn't work. So I do the password reset, and my email's not showing up, and it's just like you're going down this rabbit hole of stupid bullshit.
Yep. And I'm not going to reset my password or like write down my password because it's an app or it's a website you use once a year.
Tim, you once used the term allergic to paperwork, and I feel like that's just nails it.
I was like worried for you.
I'm like physically averse to it.
It's I'll kind of break out.
Well, Tim will like swell up.
I will kind of break out into a cold sweat. But here's what's especially bad about taxes. Some years you do that full questionnaire, you jump through all the hoops, you add up the deductions, and you didn't even beat the standard deduction, and you could have just not done any of it the whole time.
What does the standard deduction mean?
It's like, you can go through and do all your write-offs, or you could assume you're like the common man and we'll just give you this number. Like assume that this much of it was work related.
Yeah. 3 hit podcasters, common man.
I prefer to stand out. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I'd rather pay more in taxes if I could stand out.
But I think they assume everybody is like getting, a certain chunk of it back. And you could just say, yeah, give me the normal chunk. And if you do like TurboTax or something, you should probably just do that. But it can be a lot of wasted work. You pay a tax lady a ton of money and she says, joke's on you, dude.
You blew it.
Now, I wanted to ask you guys, we are about a week out from, it's a week has passed since the episode where Jeff called Mike out for talking.
For
talking too much on the pod for not taking I believe the quote was, you haven't taken a breath in 15 minutes. And I listened back. Mike, you immediately turned to turn on me. You pointed at me and said, he talks 33%.
You talk too much, Tim. You're talking more than your 33%.
I have, in fact, this incident has re-inspired me. I get on board with my 2024 New Year's resolution, only speak 33% of the pod or less. But between you guys, this was brutal stuff, and I was an innocent bystander, and it was nasty.
It got nasty. I know.
Is this a gotcha interview, like a little post-show interview?
I just want to follow up. Andy Cohen would probably follow up if there had been a brutal fight.
We should get him on the show. I wonder if he listens to the show, or if he talks about this show on What's Up Next.
They had guest bartenders on Watch What's Happening Live, so they probably do. I wonder what his signature drink is.
I bet Shram. Oh, he must have a signature.
Shram knows.
I bet Shram's done that.
He's a deadhead. I'll tell you that.
Who is?
Andy Cohen.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
But he's so buttoned up.
Maybe the three of us will see him when we go to the Sphere to see fish. The three of us.
Yeah, jury's still out on Jeff.
Jeff doesn't know.
It's not out. The jury's in. He's not going.
Jeff might now just come to Vegas, he said, but not go to the show. Which, when he gets there, he's going to the show.
No, that'd be worse. That'd be worse. You guys go to that Sphere. I'm going to go to the LA Sphere, the practice Sphere. You've seen it.
The Practosphere.
And we can compare spheres.
Now, wait a minute. We're getting back to something. Yes, Tim, that was an electric event. Did you, upon looking at the tape, I haven't re-looked at the tape, and I haven't heard it back yet. Did you feel like anyone was at fault?
You asking me or Tim?
I'm asking Tim.
Fault. Like if this was a car accident, who would have caused the thing?
Now, yeah. What's our sober audit of the situation?
Here's if I had to blame one person, it would be Gustav Pabst for starting the Pabst company and winning the blue ribbon.
Yeah.
Cut to 100 years later.
But Tim, he
years ago.
He practically quenched your indie sleaze era.
He did, and I thank him for that, and your grunge era.
And my grunge era.
But
party on, Wayne.
here we are, three good Christian men trying to host a podcast, and he comes out with his descendants come out with the THC seltzer gets us high,
and they put some THCV in there too.
THCV, so
that was the
you got
tipping
Hanford
point.
talking, you got Jeff grumping, you got Tim giggling, you got Tim giggling.
Tim, I haven't seen you fucking like bust out like that in a long time.
Yeah, it happens.
It happens. It happened when I was messing with Mookie that one time. And you
Oh my
could've-
God.
Oh yes, and there's a common culprit, that THC.
Well, that was a great night. It was every time we went to a Grateful Dead tribute band together at the Lodge Room. It was great, but every time I looked over at Mike and Mookie, Mike was either lecturing Mookie or yelling at Mookie, and they just make a very funny duo. If you're kind of like, I was like with them, but I had fallen silent and I was doing my own thing.
I'm sure I was like being jokingly yelling at him. I don't think I was actually.
Well, there was two incidents. Once I looked over and you were honestly pontificating like, that's the thing with America, man. It's this fucking corporate shit.
Oh, you figured it out?
That was good.
And Mookie wasn't listening, and I laughed, and I was like, he doesn't give a fuck, and I lost my mind. But then the next time, it was like an hour later, we were watching the band. Mookie's watching the band. We're standing right up front.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
Hanford has his back to the stage. And
Bad move.
Mookie is wearing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles shirt, and the lettering is sort
Nice.
of splotchy and red. And
man.
Hanford goes, you look like you got spaghetti sauce on your shirt. Yelling at him.
I owe him an apology when I see him.
Yeah. Poor guy was just trying to have a night on the town. His friend was,
It's lambasting him.
Well, going back to that, the incident, as it's now being called,
Yes.
we I think Jeff and I are over it, but I could see that bubbling up for Jeff and I have been playing Fortnite, okay? And when we're on there, maybe sometimes Mike isn't doing the exact thing Jeff wants because
Don't pin it on the Fortnite. Mike's got the gift of gab, you see.
Yeah, I won't
but
stop.
sometimes you put a little THCV on him, and you just get it sort of doubles or triples.
or triples.
I like that it's not the THC. We've narrowed it down to the THCV.
It's that one.
There are only certain cannabinoids that will make Hanford chatty.
Wait, did we get the word out about who? We were going to play a show in L.A.
I mean, as of the airing of this podcast, it happens tomorrow night in
Oh, that's right.
Lodge Room, Highland Park.
Well, now we were going to play last month in March. Remember? Mm-hmm. And did we say who bounced us?
No, we haven't told this whole thing.
Oh, this is good. Now, Jeff, you'll love this story.
Jeff, buckle up, buddy.
You know this
play?
story, but you're gonna.
Okay, go for it. Jog me.
All right. So, March 15th, the Sloppy Boys were prepared.
Hold on, let me just point out real quick. Mike, you were waiting like I was going to tell the story, and I almost told the story, and then I said, "No, Tim, 33%."
You know what?
Very good. Very
talk.
Well, and usually I let that. Usually I do. If there's pause, I say Tim's got it. He knows what's going on. But then I
don't know.
I need to now step up and tell the story. Okay, Jeff. You remember back in March 15th, we were supposed to open for Don't Stop or We'll Die. Yes?
Yes.
Now, that didn't happen because we got bumped. The whole show got bumped. And we found out. The show got then pushed to April 6th. That's happening tomorrow.
Yes.
That's what's happening. Now
we know.
But we got bumped on that first show by, you'll never guess, Weezer, the band Weezer.
Playing the entire Blue album beginning to end.
As a warm up for their tour. And this particular show had Dog Star open, Keanu's band.
That's so
Isn't that
cool.
fucking crazy? I thought that was like a joke. They're like from the 90s. Like we all know that like the celebrity band that you make fun of is Dogstar, and they're still active.
Dogstar, I think that there were some articles about him last year, like he's getting them back together or they're playing shows again. But I think the reason for that lineup.
Any word on 12 Odd Foot of Grunts?
Is that Cameron Crowe?
Yeah. No, it's
Cameron
Russell
Crowe.
Russell Crowe.
What was that name, Jim? 12
Odd Foot of Grunts. Meaning if you laid all the guys down, they'd be like 12 odd feet long.
Oh.
That's what they.
So
that's the joke.
Like 2 people in it? 3 people maybe?
I guess 2.
Or they're just very short.
Maybe they're all short.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, we just decided that Russell Crowe is 2 feet tall. yeah, we cracked the case.
6 people in this band, all 2 feet tall.
I had heard that. I saw an Instagram video of Rivers Cuomo telling the story that there was some early days of Weezer in LA. There was a club that they really wanted to play at, and he would like call all the time trying to get Weezer booked, and they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't book him, and the club owner was like, nah, dudes. And then one day he called Rivers up, like last minute, like, hey, we just had a band drop out. Can you come play tonight? We need someone to open for Dogstar. So that was like a formative LA gig for Weezer in the early 90s was opening for Dogstar. So now the tables have turned, have they not, Keanu? What have you done in the last 30 years, Keanu?
Yeah, come on, Keanu. Keanu Ramo. Keanu Robs. All right.
Damn. Well, should we get into some booze news?
Mm-hmm.
Bip, 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 bip. Booze news, hit it.
The handman keeps fucking up again. And the drink tastes nothing like it should. Does Tim are mad at him again? Cause it's not made correctly.
Okay. Handman was sent to us by Fonzie. And if you have a booze news theme, email it to the sloppyboyspodcast@gmail.com. Now, that was a parody of the Built to Spill song.
The Plan.
Built to Spill. I was going to say, is that Turnstile?
One of the only Built to Spill songs I know.
Good song. Well, what do you think of the lyrical content of this?
That's good for them if they want to have that type of fun. I don't think you guys are ever mad at me about the ingredients that I choose to put in.
No. It's for talking too much.
It's for no. Well,
I love that would make me so happy if Mike becomes known as the guy who talks too much on a podcast. Now, Mike, I thought you said you've muted that channel, right? The when people are shit talking you on Discord, you don't take a look anymore.
Well, you got to mute the haters, Tim.
you got to meet the haters, but on this, I have to listen to the booze news themes or whatever. I can see that the bar has certainly fallen for the booze news themes
In quality, yeah.
in quality and content.
How do you feel about your co-host giving the haters a platform? That's kind of weird.
Yeah, what the hell is going on with that, Tim? Tim, you looked like you did look like you were frozen, but your eyes were blinking and moving. So,
like a creepy painting.
yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Halloween, but it's not. I chose that because here's what happens right before we start the podcast every week. I open up the sloppyboyspodcast@gmail.com. I'm overwhelmed. There's too many booze news themes. Lots of people are getting overlooked. It's a complete shit show. And if I click on one, it makes me laugh. And I'm sorry, Fonzie made me laugh. He was coming from my boy, but he made me laugh.
No, I think it's great. I love it. I don't take any offense to it. I make the drinks pretty much spot on every time these days, so I'm not worried about it.
It's a very Trumpian interpretation of this
the actual event.
I kind of make them perfectly every time.
Shit, I was just gonna say something to. Tim, for those who want to do booze news themes, what helps sort of highlight you picking a booze news theme?
Oh, that's good. This is a good inside tip.
Oh, I'm going to open this one because the subject has a cool emoji in it. Okay.
This is so cool because here I am, the editor-in-chief of Booze News. I'm used to asking the questions as a journalist.
Yeah,
and
right.
now here I am kind of being interviewed.
Does it feel weird? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of freaking out a little bit. Here, if I could give I listen to them all. No one's going to get not listened to, but what happens is between the listen, there's no process between getting clicked on and making onto the show because the inbox is a mess. I try to have labels, funny one, or timely. I try to get the timely ones or seasonal ones on the
These ones suck. We put those ones over there, the ones that suck.
Well, there aren't too many sucky ones. The slopheads are a clever bunch, but I feel like here's the thing. I'll listen to one and I'll say, that's funny. And then I'll listen to another one and I'll be like, oh, I got to do that for St. Patrick's Day or whatever. And then meanwhile, the one that was like, that's funny is forgotten.
Right. Yeah, it's tough.
Damn.
Sorry.
Damn.
Can I tell you the actual news though?
Yeah, the actual news would be great. Not news about the Booze News process.
Okay. I wanted to check in with the X-Sphere.
We never see the inside of Dan Rather's office. Okay.
Well, it's funny because sometimes the news becomes the news. Matt Lauer.
Interesting.
Ooh, interesting.
Do you think they'll do a whole morning show style drama show about us and the making of this pod? Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
I hope so. All right, go ahead.
Booze News. Okay. Have you heard of a thing that was on Twitter? The Keke Palmer.
A drink?
That's a drink.
I have just messaged it to you in our chat.
I like Keke Palmer.
Okay. So recently, ex-user Raji the Don tweeted a picture of an Arnold Palmer and said, lemonade and iced tea. What do you call this in your city or state? I'm from Jersey. It's an uptown.
Oh,
and then
an uptown.
You got a lot of people chime in saying Arnold Palmer. You got people saying half and half, 50-50. And then it gets a retweet or an X repost, quote style, from actress, singer Keke Palmer. And she says, it's an Arnold Palmer, but if you add some tequila, it becomes a Keke Palmer.
That's
and
cool.
then this goes viral. A lot of people are talking. A lot of slopheads sending it to me. You know that we love Arnold Palmers. We just talked about him with Nick Weiger on this very pod.
We like the Nick Weiger too.
Oh, right. With Nick Weiger, which is more iced tea than lemonade.
It's the original. It's the original.
Which is also,
Arnold Palmer.
Yeah.
Now, have you guys worked that into your the drink name, and that if it's a 50-50, you call it a half and half or whatever. But then when you measure the ratios and then you say, this is an original Arnold.
That's what I would say. Yes.
The answer is yes.
Yes, always yes. I am going to try that Keke Palmer drink. I like that idea a lot.
Hers has a nice gradient to it. It looks like a tequila sunrise. You see that?
Oh, that is nice.
Ooh. From yellow to brown.
Everybody knows the vodka version is called the John Daly because he's a vodka golfer. But
because he's a renowned drunk. Yeah.
I always thought that was like, oh, that's funny. Like he's a drunk, and then that drink is called the John Daly. But I clicked on an article about him recently. He's like, it is vodka specifically, and he said he was like, there was a time in his life he was drinking like a handle a day. Like I didn't know that. I didn't know one could do that.
I have been leaning into the Arnold Palmers more in general, though.
That's nice.
I'm making it a point when I go somewhere. I say, "Can this happen here?" What I'm about to describe.
You're like, well,
can this happen here?
They're like, I guess you'll have to describe it before I can give you the answer. But
yes, then let me proceed.
Damn, was that it for Booze News?
Wrap it up.
That's it for Booze News.
Get in my belly!
Well, now the Booze News is out of the way. Sure would be nice to figure out what we're doing this week.
Well, we're doing a drink that I've been wanting to do for a while.
But you couldn't for a while, could you, Tim?
Because I was shackled by the IBA cocktail list.
Yes, we all were.
It was stuck.
Like a chain gang. made to drink only certain drinks.
We're now like in sync when the No Strings tour, when it's like, we got out from under that record label. We can be the real us.
We got to Photoshop that, man. Come on, man.
Get on it. The ghost
Somebody's
of,
on there, yeah.
Come on,
Craig T.
Ghost to
Nelson.
Craig T. But there's 5 of them. There's only 3 of us.
Oh, the Cheers thing?
No, on the NSYNC album cover and the No Strings Attached.
That's going to be a big decision for that person to make.
It could be Joey Fatone and
Yeah, just keep
Lance
the good
Bass.
ones.
What was that? So did that album? It's not like that was an indie album or something, right? It just means that was it like Lou Pearlman wasn't bossing them around anymore or something?
It was marketing shit.
I wonder if it was a thing where like they like got more, they could get more money for themselves or something.
Or like maybe they wrote some of their own songs. Is that conceivable?
Dirty pop.
The one thing I learned that's interesting is Lou Pearlman owned both Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and didn't tell them and like pitted them against each other in competition.
Wow.
How do they not know?
Or like managed the both of them.
Yeah.
'Cause he had Backstreet Boys first, and he was like, everywhere there's Coke, there's Pepsi. Everywhere there's McDonald's, there's Burger King. Why don't we have McDonald's and Burger King? And created the other group.
That's so smart.
And then Avril Lavigne's like, ain't you heard about Wendy's?
Don't forget about me, Wendy's.
I'm Wendy.
I'm the Wendy's.
Now, what if someone made a Photoshop of like the Wendy's logo, but it's wearing a loose necktie and it's like Avril and it's what,
That's good.
That's good.
Why is the beef so complicated? Something like
Ghost
that.
of Craig T, get on that one too.
Come on. Greg T's going to be busy at the end of this episode.
We better shut up, eh, Craig? You're going to be busy as fuck.
Okay, so yeah, when we got free from the IBA, this was the first drink that came to my mind because I'd been wanting to do it. This is a TGI Fridays. It's middle class fancy. It's dark age cocktail stuff. It's Fern bars, from the Fern bar to Bennigan's to Rudigan's to JP Skidoo's.
Back again.
Moe's Family Feed Bag
Yep.
is the vibe. I've heard all my life, but I've never had the Mudslide. Have you had?
Never had, heard.
Never.
It's also one of these drinks, kind of like the daiquiri, where I thought it was a much bigger production.
Yeah.
We'll talk about what it is. I thought it was a milkshake.
It often is.
Damn it.
I gotta get the T. When I say that word, I say often. I looked it up. It's often.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
I say the T and I can't stop.
Often.
I'm crazy for that T.
Oftentimes.
Oh, your name begins with a T. It's
That's
natural.
probably why I want to be.
You're
get a little
biased
shout
towards
out.
the T.
I leave the T out because in my entire name I have no T's.
People get on me for saying onion instead of onion.
What do you say?
How do you say it?
Onion.
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 Like,
like that.
UNG?
Onion.
So
Onion.
people get on you for saying the wrong word.
For saying it wrong. Yeah, for saying it wrong.
Why do people get on you for just saying a completely wrong
I think it's
word?
gives it a little bounce.
Also, I can't tell what the difference. Like, I can tell there is a difference, but I can't tell.
You're
what
saying
it
like
is.
UNG, onion.
Onion.
Well, don't just say it. What are you saying?
Can't you hear it though when I say it?
Now, Jeff, are you able to chalk this up to being a New Hampshire thing?
Yeah, I am too.
Yes, unequivocally, yes.
Were you raised on onions?
I also say I'm going to my room.
Yeah, you say rum.
So that's a classic.
Yeah,
Is that New Hampshire though?
I think that's a West or New England thing.
It's something. A lot of people say that.
I thought I was raised by a weird dad or something.
I think it's like an old timey thing.
My dad also says milk instead of milk. That's weird. No explanation for that.
I've heard that in New Jersey.
I hear vanilla a lot.
Oh, vanilla.
Wooder.
No, not that. That's
like
that's-
Delaware, Pittsburgh, right? Or Pennsylvania.
for the Margeros.
Oh, we got to look up that movie that he's in, Ming Hags.
No, Ming Hags is the sequel to Haggard. We got to watch
We got
Haggard
to find
first.
something.
Okay, this is not what we're talking
This is
about.
not.
This is not what we're talking about. Well, Jeff, I think it kind of is.
Well, what I wanted to do right here is that I listened to a really good conversation between David Wondrich and Noah Rothbaum. There's an old podcast called Life Behind Bars. they're like cocktail historians, you know. And I listened to an episode about the dark ages of cocktails, which is basically the whole second half of the 20th century. I also read some articles, and I thought it would be a good moment for us here to do a quick reset to set the scene for a lot of drinks that we are going to be doing soon here on the pod.
Yeah.
Wow, perfect.
Fun drinks, finally.
We got a lot of fun ones on the way.
While you read this, Tim, can we just kind of take it easy?
You can basically chill out, hang around, goof
Take
off.
it easy.
Do you remember in Adam Sandler's old HBO stand-up special, he covered Bruce Springsteen's Out on the Street? And it's like not a funny song. So he's like, okay, now I'm going to do a cover of a song. You guys can have fun, goof off, do whatever you want. And he just plays like a 3-minute Springsteen song, and kids in the crowd are goofing off. It's a lot of the material from They're All Gonna Laugh at You, but it's live.
Ooh.
Okay. But we're not here to talk about that.
No.
Here's a little nutshell of my understanding of why cocktails in the second half of the 20th century are, bartenders say it's the dark ages. Basically, it's like when the 1900s start, you got original cocktail culture totally popping off, you know, all the old timey drinks. And then as we go into prohibition,
sours.
we get, you know, there's the speakeasies and the bootleggers and the flappers and the roaring 20s type of stuff. It kind of keeps going okay through prohibition. It's just under the table. And then through the 30s.
Dreaming?
Stop That is actually a Dave Matthews album, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't. I keep with it, Tim. You're doing good.
Yeah, no, feel free to bring up any
Stick with it, Tim.
Dave Matthews albums that you want. I told you to goof off, and that's how you're choosing to express yourself.
Yeah. How do I goof?
The thing here is World War II, guys. That would be an event that would change things, right? It's kind of a big deal.
Oh, yeah. Not just in the cocktail world.
WW2. Yep.
So, a lot of bartenders get drafted. B, a lot of American
They're
distilleries.
used to pouring the drafts.
Yes. How confusing would
You
that
can
be?
imagine how disorienting that must be for them.
You're going to draft me? It's almost as if Uncle Sam was the bartender of the troops.
Yes.
Ooh.
But also, American whiskey distilleries are like getting shut down. It's wartime, so importing and exporting is all weird. You're not getting premium spirits shipped into America. So that puts a wrinkle of things. But then as the war ends, think about the 50s. You know, we're talking the mid-century, like space age, supermarket, Betty Crocker, the type of stuff that you see on that Instagram account we like 70s dinner party, you know, like that vibe that pops up in the middle of the 1900s. It's like people like that there's no fresh fruit juices because people are like, oh, canned juice can go concentrate in the freezer.
They like the
They think it's
concentration.
modern, and they think that
Yes.
they're like the Jetsons. They're like, that's cool.
Yes.
a popular cartoon that would soon come.
Yes, they didn't know it was coming yet, but
The way was paved for that, that Jetson family.
these fools didn't see what was coming.
Oh, it's true.
Now, even though like whiskey and stuff is kind of out of style, weirdly vodka remains popular through this era, and it's like you're able to import it, even though it's Cold War time. That's kind of weird to me. But you know, vodka is just so straightforward and alcohol-y, so it starts getting used a lot in like Bloody Marys and screwdrivers, where it's like drinks where the alcohol disappears, you know?
You didn't really notice it. Interesting.
Exactly. People start saying like that thing of like, hey, try this. You can barely taste the alcohol, as if that's like a good thing. And then, I mean, I guess through this whole era, dry martinis are like the one old timey drink that persists.
Stuck around?
It stuck around. You had like Dale DeGroff making them at the Rainbow Room.
They're still eating steaks, and you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
You can,
you know,
Something needs to cut those
you need
things
something
up.
to.
you can't have an entire ribeye sitting in your stomach unshung.
No.
But
So we're up in the 50s now, right?
Exactamundo. And
I
then
like this. I like this little tour through here.
Well, thank you. I spent my afternoon reading, and now I'm kind of like sharing it with my two co-hosts.
Well, it shows. It shows.
Here's the thing, guys, with the juice, then the drinks get bigger, right? And we start to get a little juicier. We start to get a little sweeter. And then in the 70s, we get the fern bars, brass rails, stained glass lamps, yuppies in New York and San Francisco.
We're allowing in women now.
We sort of skipped the 60s. We skipped the...
That was sort of a tumultuous time in America.
I thought so, too.
You had Vietnam.
Based on some of the books I read.
Peace and love, women's lib.
Here's what's funny about that.
JFK.
We've all watched Mad Men. In Mad Men, they're all drinking old fashions and Gibsons and martinis and Manhattans. So maybe...
So they're just out of style guys. Like that's just like business guy drinks
Grandpas.
Maybe those are the guys on Madison Avenue that were keeping that thing alive. But
yeah, I think you're right. That's like,
And those are the guys keeping dames out of the bars.
I call them women.
When they start to age out, that's when the fern bars are like, actually, we like having like young single people come out, and it's kind of more everybody get in here.
That's right, Jeff, because the first fern bar is the original TGI Fridays on the Upper East Side, which is known to be the first singles bar that said, hey, ladies, come on in by yourself. Sit at the bar by yourself. And maybe a nice man will buy you a Harvey Wallbanger.
Come on in. Nothing's going to happen to you.
Is there out in the street? Hey, lady.
is this...
Okay.
I forget. Is the original TGI Fridays still there?
No.
No. Okay.
But you can see it in Cocktail.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, we don't know if they actually shot there, but that was the idea.
There was like an exterior of
I haven't looked up
Fridays.
the location.
And it was a wild party spot, if you remember, Mike.
Most certainly was.
Yes, I'm sure. Fern bar drinks, 70s, done.
Then you got all kinds of fern bars, and it's like yuppies are drinking, the Harvey Wallbanger and the Fuzzy Navel and the Snake Bite and the Alabama Slammer. We're getting sweeter. We're getting bigger into the 80s. Here's a funny thing. Oh, this is what I heard from Wondrich on that podcast. At one point, premium spirits were so out of style that chartreuse, which there's currently a shortage of, which we know is like made by monks in France, very fancy. In the 70s, they were not selling any chartreuse in America. So they came out with a drink called, what did I write? Swamp water. And it was chartreuse and pineapple juice. And they had these collectible glasses you could buy. And they're like, everybody's drinking swamp water.
I feel like I've heard that before. Swamp
That sounds cool. I would chug some swamp water.
Yeah.
I
think
Googled.
still have some chartreuse
we should
around.
track down some of these glasses. It's a cool era. I mean, I don't really love sweet drinks, but it is... all this stuff is very funny to me. But then, through the 80s, we got Sex on the Beach, Sea Breeze, Woo Woo, all these ones that spun off from the Cape Codder, which was invented by Ocean Spray. Plus, 80s, 90s, you got the moms are drinking Bartles and James and wine coolers, white wine spritzers. That rides us right to through the 90s. We got the Sex in the City, Apple Teeny type thing. And just as the 20th century ends.
Before we get to the 90s, though, like, you're right, 80s, I like all these, like, technological developments, like canned drinks and all this stuff. That's great. But 80s were also marked by just, like, the economy was good. We were a little bit more optimistic in the wake. It wasn't like the gritty 70s. It wasn't like De Niro, Taxi Driver, Scorsese. It's like, hey, we're all kind of doing okay. It's the Spielberg 80s, and everything's... maximalist and a little tacky and a little tasteless.
Isn't that when it was sort of Republican-run United States? And
a certain demographic is benefiting from the Reagan 80s, and then there's a lot of people that the trickle down is not trickling down to. Let's just say you got the war on drugs, for Christ's sake.
Jeff.
You also have Bart Simpson not obeying his parents like at all.
Having a cow or not wanting to people to have
Bart Simpson saying, I'm not got that. Well, you got Reagan and then Bush, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom. Republican.
Let's keep going. Bring in Bill, baby. Come on.
Then Bill.
And then Hillary.
And then Hillary. Okay, for real. 80s, 90s.
So then just right at the end of the 90s, in the Apple Teeny, Carrie Bradshaw type era, that's just, it's only right at the Y2K thing that you start to get original cocktail culture coming back. in New York. And then you start to get some hipster guys with some waxy mustaches. And then there's kind of foodiedom and they want to make some old cocktails and then Mad Men and then bing, bang, boom. We're kind of at a peak of cocktails right now. Like this is
because of the Sloppy Boys podcast. Yeah.
very true.
Yeah, that's true. You mean at another peak? You think this is the peak after the Mad Men era?
I think it's probably we've hung out there. We've continued to sell a lot of cocktails and liquor for cocktails and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think we're like jumping the shark now, where a lot of the articles I've been reading about on like Punch and stuff like that right now is like we're kind of. I don't know, like I don't know what the next step is, but a lot of drinks to me are reading as like kind of just trying to, or when you're reading articles of like the drink of the summer is this thing you've never heard of. It's like,
Yes.
It's the Dune 2, the Dune 2 swizzle.
I think if you ask me, I think we're stuck in the dark ages of the fucking, hey, this drink has mezcal. Oh, you can swap in mezcal.
Yeah.
I went to a mezcal bar. It's a mezcaleria.
I feel like we've talked about this before. Or should we do the drink and maybe we can talk about?
Yeah, it's getting
Okay,
late.
Tim, keep going there.
Yeah,
Hey, but you know what? This is just going to be one of those ones where the drink comes later. Listener, if you have a problem with that,
the episode's not going to be any longer.
No, Jeff, you cut me off. Fuck off.
Oh, shit. Jeff, you haven't taken a breath. Would you let Mike talk?
No, I'm owed breaths.
You're owed more than a breath. I'm going to knock you out. I'm going to give you a knuckle sandwich next time I see you. Send you to the planetarium. Remember that, Jeff?
Trip to the planetarium.
You're seeing
Boom.
stars.
Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just going to say we should do an episode where Mike takes all the breaths that he didn't take last week. Okay, so this particular drink, how it factors in was a little surprising to me because it was actually invented in the Cayman Islands at the Wreck Bar, WRECK, like a shipwreck, at Rum Point Beach Club on Grand Cayman Island. And it doesn't seem like a beach drink, but
No.
it was the 70s, and it was like a 70s guy tourist went to that bar and asked for a White Russian, which is a very fern bar-y, loungy disco drink. And they made him this that added Baileys to the mix. Maybe they didn't have cream or something, so they just did the Baileys, or I don't know. But so yeah, it's from the Cayman Islands. But then it quickly gets popular in America, fern bars, family restaurants, and we are going to be doing the liquor.com version of this is the very kind of straightforward original. It eventually became what you guys were expecting with the big scoops of ice cream in it, big giant glass. But this is kind of the original, which is 1 ounce vodka, 1 ounce coffee liqueur, like Kahlua, 1 ounce Bailey's Irish cream or other Irish cream, 1.5 ounce heavy cream. Add the vodka, coffee liqueur, Baileys, and cream to a shaker with ice and shake until well chilled. Strain into a chilled fizz glass or coupe. Garnish with freshly shaved chocolate.
Ooh.
This is going to be good.
Yeah.
Better be.
What I'm just remembering, I'm looking it up here on liquor.com, and the banner ads are for Kettle One. I have Kettle One in my freezer.
Shit.
Oh, Michael.
Michael.
I've got the name brand Baileys. I got the name brand Kahlua.
Oh, yeah. So the Kahlua. I also have that Mr. Black.
Yep.
The cold brew.
Yep.
Now it seems like Kahlua is kind of more the TGI Fridays vibe, though, huh?
The vibe, but Mr. Black is sweet, right? It has sugar in it.
Yeah.
Does Mr. Black have an alcohol in it, though?
Yeah. It's what they use for the espresso martinis. It's very cold brew tasting.
Oh, yes.
But I have an idea for an elevated round 2. I'm going to go Fern Bar round 1.
Okay. I like that.
Okay.
All right.
Folks, here come the ads. We'll be right back after these messages. And we're back. Mudslides in hand. Let's see him.
Ooh.
Boosh.
This is probably the
Beautiful.
best looking drink I've made on the pod.
Mike.
Wow.
Come on.
A liberal chocolate shaving coating for Tim.
I went a little nuts by
I'm going to
accident.
drink mine because I don't want to spill it.
Yeah. Ooh, now, first impression, it's not too much different than the other ones of this ilk.
No, I mean, it's just very funny to taste Kahlua and Bailey's at the same time because you choose Bailey's or Kahlua in life.
Yeah, like Kahlua really does have its own, like, as I was pouring it, I was smelling it, and like, it's got its own, like, stinky, like,
Yeah.
I like this drink, though. I like that chocolate.
So wait, chocolate mudslide. That's what I thought it was. The same way that you hear like daiquiri, you think strawberry daiquiri, which is like a tweak on it. I always heard of it as like, oh, a chocolate mudslide is the big stupid TGI Fridays Applebee's thing.
That's maybe the shake.
I've never heard that, but that makes sense because a lot of these ones I'm looking at are syrupy. The mental image I had was like not necessarily ice creamy, but I thought it would be on the rocks. I thought it would be like big and on the rocks, and it sounds nice to me, like on the rocks for some reason, like a yoo-hoo on the rocks.
This is like a touch bit too strong of a taste. And I think it is that Kahlua taste. If I did the Kahlua in half, I think this would be spot on.
Yeah, because on the liquor.com thing, they were saying like there's a lot of sweet and there's a lot of cream. So you need that vodka to slice through. And it's not slicing. It's a dessert with a little vodka in there.
You could put a lot more vodka and still not notice it in this big.
It tastes a little bit like when you're eating the chocolate part. The chocolate on the top is great.
Yes. What did you use for chocolate?
Ooh, I've seen these before. Tony's, you ever seen this wrapping before?
Oh yeah, Tony's Chocolonely. Yeah.
It's great. It's like,
that's like a big silly cartoon bar.
I've always seen these things. I know they look like Wonka.
Yeah,
Wonka bars.
What did you shave it with, like a cheese shredder?
Yeah, like a potato or a carrot peeler.
Ooh.
Oh.
So each peel was hard earned.
Very hard earned.
Damn. I used Trader Joe's cocoa truffles, which I think you guys saw.
Oh, I did see them. Yeah.
Simply decadent, sinful. Hey, you guys shave your pubes?
Watch yourself,
Hey,
Jeff. Watch it,
Manscaped
buddy.
is a wonderful product. They also got Manscaped body wash, Manscaped shampoo.
The Lawnmower 2.0.
They stopped sponsoring us, but
Yeah, that was.
you know what? I think they caught on that. They're like, those guys don't have pubes. They couldn't grow pubes if they tried.
Those guys rip them out by the roots.
We're going to the salon every day and getting waxed and plucked.
Rip them out by the roots. Like grass in the outfield.
I bought a Hershey bar and I used a cheese grater. Just one of those flat things, or a julienne thing.
Nice.
This is, man, if I had a scoop of vanilla ice cream here, I would add it to my next one. Damn.
I got a freezer full of Jenny's, but it's all cookie flavors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting backed up. I owe them some Instagram videos.
It's a rough life.
I know.
It's getting hard out there for everybody.
I'm going to write a novel that's like Grapes of Wrath, Dust Bowl type vibe, but it's about a guy who is backed up on artisan ice cream and has to
owes too many Instagrams.
Oh boy. I wanted to ask you guys, when you think of TGI Fridays and all the restaurants of that ilk, not the chain ones, but in my town, it is a chain, but me and my brother would be like, Mom, Dad, can we go to the Ground Round?
Oh, yeah.
It was a burger place, but it was like,
We
there
had
was a
Ground Round.
balloon man walking around. There was popcorn baskets on the
There's
tables.
silent cartoons
Yeah,
playing.
like Three Stooges films playing on a projector. But then
Popcorn, right?
we also had in Rhinebeck, we had a knockoff Hard Rock Cafe called the Rolling Rock Cafe, where I first had buffalo wings. And
Really?
Nice.
and this also makes me think of, like, we had in the mall, we had a restaurant called the Coyote Cafe where you would get like a frozen margarita or whatever. But in the genre of a whole lot of crap on the walls, did you have like a beloved one that your family went to?
Like a local?
Not one that wasn't a chain. We had Ruby Tuesdays and Applebee's, but
Did you like those?
no, I think I went to Applebee's when I was in like I don't think I went as a kid, but I went in college and I was like, this food is fucking terrible. It is like so mushed. It's like when you get a McDonald's hamburger and what you see on TV is like a big fluffy burger that flops down. Mm-hmm. This was like that.
Flopper.
Like that version where it's like, oh, this food is smushed.
Smush my food, Don.
That's so funny. When it comes in a takeout bag, you expect a little smush, but when it shows up on like a nice plate at a restaurant, you're like, what smushed it?
Smushed this.
What smushed it on its way out of the kitchen?
I smushed it. Well,
Did you guys
okay.
have the 99? Maybe that was like an East Coast thing.
That's more recent.
no.
In my town, we got it like within the last decade, I think.
Wow. I feel like that's a fern bar. I don't know if it had so much crap on the walls.
I only went to it once, but when the Outback Steakhouse showed up, that was a fun one.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Man, we
go
were
there.
crazy for Australia back then, huh?
Still
Yeah,
are.
fake Australia, kind of.
Get like Crocodile Dundee and Foster's and all that shit, and the Simpsons one episode, and the Crocodile Hunter,
Yeah, we just couldn't get enough of that.
Tasmanian Devil. I can keep going.
I wish you would.
It's funny that at
Hugh
that
Jackman was born.
time, born.
Raised.
At that time, it felt like exotic and funny, and now it's just like so many of our biggest actors are Australian.
You know, I've been there before.
Yes, you went on a
Mike.
Comedy Bang Bang tour, huh?
That's
Oh my
right.
God, you're right.
Now I hear it's spread out. Is it spread out?
Well, we did Sydney, Brisbane, and Melbourne, and then Perth, which is on the other side of the country. So it was really funny going to
Perth.
like on the other side of the world, being in a brand new country on a weird time, like your schedule's all off for a few days, and you're like, okay, and now we're going across this country.
And it's like
We did.
big too, right? Like
That's pretty big. I liked it. Sydney was the big main city there, most populated city, I think, and it was kind of a whirlwind, and we had to get. It was like show, and then kind of gone. But we did have a couple days off to sort of get on the right schedule.
Show. Is that like a song that you sang on stage? Show.
Show your booty.
Show your booty.
show your booty. Wow, I'm looking here. Australia is it's pretty much the size of the United States.
Oh,
It's huge, man.
It's
Damn.
huge.
that's
Now,
huge.
New Zealand, very small.
Oh, yes. So small.
Fits on the head of a pin.
You know, I was watching
It's like Horton Hears a Who.
watching some of those Lord of the Rings movies on the flight back from seeing you guys.
Oh,
I watched a little bit of the second one.
Two Towers.
Did I tell you I read the book?
They had as an in-flight movie.
Yeah, it was a weird one. I read the first one, not The Hobbit, the first Lord of the Rings Fellowship a couple summers ago. Did we talk about this?
No, you're such a reader.
I'm
Mike.
such a
Voracious.
Thank you. I had it,
This,
Tim.
this
I
guy
knew the
read
word.
Dune. This guy read Dune by
He
Frank
tried
Herbert.
to read Dune. I fucked. Dune sucked.
Mike was recently staying at my place. I check in on him. He's laying on the couch reading Lincoln in the Bardo.
Oh, that was a great book. I'm a little late. That was the big thing, like in, I think, 2017 it came out. But my brother got it for me for Christmas. Oh, great book. Really well written.
This is no Devil in the White City, but yeah, great book.
Another one of my faves.
We're supposed to read that for the pod and then talk about how it's the same Chicago World's Fair as Pabst Blue Ribbon.
That's right. It's a good book.
It would be really funny to just one day have a blowout that is a book and just not even address that it's weird.
And it's like, we're kind of drunk and we don't get to it for 40 minutes.
We didn't like talk about it leading up to it, so the audience isn't like reading.
It's not like Sloppy Boys Book Club. It's like, what?
I'm reading a book now. I'm reading Tropic of Capricorn by Henry
Cool.
Miller. Yeah. I didn't know
Classics.
anything about it other than it was mentioned in Seinfeld, and
As a horny book.
I think you're right. It hasn't gotten there yet. I'm only like 50 pages in, but that also might be the next one, Tropic of Cancer, or the first one. I forget. But I found this book in in New York, people just leave like boxes out of their house of stuff they're getting rid of. And I saw this book. I said, "Oh, I'm gonna take that."
Did you check it for bed
Free
bugs?
knowledge.
I shook it out,
Book bugs.
and they all stayed in. I said, "All right, you guys come with me. Only the tough can survive with me."
You're pretty tough. You can ride with the handman.
You ride up top on my shoulder.
Duddy, are you reading novels?
No, the last thing I read was Rick Rubin's book,
Oh, the art of creativity.
The Creative Act.
The art of the novel is back. Read the novel.
The novel is back. I haven't read a novel in forever.
Is that a thing? Is the novel back?
No, I don't know. Reading is not back. Culturally, reading is not back. It is gone.
Hey, speaking of, to tie this in, I've told you guys about the time I was at a bar out here and I saw the guy reading the Anthony Kiedis book and he used $100 bill for the bookmark.
Cool.
Yep.
That's a fern bar move.
Yeah, it is.
Sit down with a big old book.
Where was that, at a coffee shop?
That was at a bar. That was
At a bar.
pardon me. That was Friday night at a bar.
Disgusting.
Like late at 10:30. This was his plan, was to be out.
A lot of times people reading in public feels like they're trying too hard to get asked about their book. Oh, guys, remember we were at the Dresden and the doorman who like had a lot going on. Let's say there was a ponytail, there was a vest, there was a lot going on. He was reading Infinite Jest.
No, the stereotype.
And he was like one page into it. And he was like
no.
striking up conversations with ladies like, I love your hair color.
It's also, this is the doorman or the bartender?
Doorman.
That's also a book that's like so unwieldy to hold. Yeah. It's like 1,000 pages.
Well, that's the funniest, to just be like towards the beginning of
Yeah, I
Infinite
know.
Jest and bringing it out of the house like, yeah, so far so good. Like, come on, man.
The first page is really good.
Yeah. This is for show. Let's be clear. I do see that sometimes. Like, I caught myself because I was going to Instagram a page, an insight, a good insight that struck me in the Rick Rubin book. And then I noticed that it was on like page 22. And I said, yeah, you can't Instagram page 22 of a book. It just
They'll
feels for show versus like,
Yeah.
you know, page 97. That you can Instagram.
That's
getting somewhere.
You've been in there. You're going out the other end at that point.
Hey, I want to take it back to the drink because I have big plans.
Can I say one more book thing?
Sure.
I'm reading a book. You know, when you're reading a book, you get the first couple chapters are like 2 pages long.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is great. You're going to whiz through this thing. And then like the 6th chapter is thick. It's
That's
like,
how I felt in school.
I think I tried to say this at stand up. Maybe you guys read that show, but I would like, it's so frustrating. When you get there, you're like, we had a good thing going. We could have gotten blown through this. You blew it.
You blew it.
All right, go bring it back to the drink, Jeffy.
Also,
Okay.
after Jeff brings it back to the drink, I have something I want to say about restaurants.
Okay. Well, round 2 for me, I'm doing a little Mr. Black, which is less creamy than your Kahlua. It's not much stronger. I want to say it's maybe 5% more ABV. And then I bet you guys still have it too. I want to use that Absolute Vanille.
I'm going to do that, Jeff. That's what I needed this whole time. You son of a bitch.
Fuck me
I would grab
for
you
having
that.
a good idea.
It's funny because you're going to add yet another taste to this
Yeah,
mix.
chocolate and vanilla and coffee.
I think the vanilla will be. I'm going to do what you just said, Jeff, but I'm taking I'm going to do a 1/4 ounce of Kahlua.
Ooh, taking it way down.
I just don't think I need that taste. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what we got. Now, Tim, your restaurant observation.
1/4 ounce.
Oh, well, here's how I got here. We were talking about restaurants. You guys mentioned Outback Steakhouse, and I remembered there was a 2-location chain in Poughkeepsie and Albany called Bugaboo Creek.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Oh,
It was a Canadian theme.
I've heard it
with the
advertised.
moose and stuff.
It had a song. It was like Bugaboo Creek.
Party with the Reds.
It tipped to B square.
But anyway, that then had me thinking, and then I thought of a funny thing. Mike, I know you know this. Jeff, have you ever heard my story about my friend who had never been to a restaurant before?
No. Actually, this rings a bell, but go ahead.
His name's and I just don't want to dox him because he's a good dude.
And actually bleep that one, Milan.
Yeah, we know how you try to let him sneak through. Kind of dox our friends. So one time after a Little League game that was an afternoon game, my parents were like, "Hey, Tim, we're going into Kingston and we're gonna have Chinese food at this place. It was called like the Kingston Tea Garden or something like that. We're
Kingston's
getting Chinese.
booming.
We're getting Chinese for dinner, and I say, "Hey, can my friend, my teammate, come with me?" And they're like, "Yeah, he can."
You know, he's shortstop.
He was catcher.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I
We
take
didn't
it
know
back.
that. We
He
didn't
was
know that.
so anyway. So he comes with us, and then we go to this Chinese restaurant, and we're eating a poo-poo platter, right, which is really fun for kids. And and this kid is going to town, man. He is grabbing the food stuff. He's like Oliver. He's like Annie. He's like either way. He's eating. And
Oliver, food, glorious food. That's
food, glorious food. There you go. He's eating the crab rangoon. He's eating the butterfly shrimp. He's eating the egg rolls. He's dipping it in the duck sauce. The noodles are going in the hot mustard, and he's sucking on his fingers.
Yeah.
And he's having the time of his life, and we're like watching it. We're like, wow. And he's like, wow. Oh man, this is so good. I've never been to a restaurant before. And we're like, oh. And then my parents are like, my mom's like, oh, you've never been to a Chinese restaurant before? He's like, no, I've never been to a restaurant before. And mind you, this kid, his parents are professors. They had a beautiful house, but they were an eat at home type of family.
Yep.
And
That's really funny.
and we were like, so you've never been out to a restaurant? He's like, never been to a restaurant. And he loved it. And we finished this meal, and he was like, wow, this was so great. Cut to 20 years later, I'm in the Comedy Bang Bang on IFC writer's room with Hanford, and I tell this story, and then we're like, oh, we should look at that kid. We should see what he's up to now, because I hadn't talked to him since then. And so I go on Facebook and I look him up, and his profile picture on Facebook, he's at a restaurant. He's holding a huge Coke, like a giant soft drink, and he's smiling and he's taking a sip. And
You started his journey, Tim.
I opened up his world to the world of restaurants.
Tim, I read an article at one point, and this is like a study that people have done where they said that adults that report the greatest happiness in their life found work that is somehow related to the thing that made them happy when they were between 8 and 10 years old, specifically. Like, if there's something that really lit your fire between 8 and 10, there's like a magical window that if your employment has something to do with that, decades later, these are the humans that report the greatest happiness in their lives. You might have hit him right in the sweet spot.
I had him in the sweet spot, but we're doing it too. I'm a goddamn comedy writer. I was 8 to 10. I was probably watching SNL and saying, "Oh,
I found space most fascinating at ages 8 to 9.
And aren't you sort of a hobbyist astronaut on the side? Don't you kind of
No,
go there?
my fucking heads are in the fucking clouds sometimes. But
Okay.
He's a space cadet. Earth to Hanford. We're doing a pod.
Earth to Hanford, I hear a lot.
And he likes to give people trips to the planetarium. That's nice.
Ooh, you're seeing stars.
All right, folks, we're going to make round 2 of these drinks. We'll see you right back here after a couple more ads.
Oh, it's AC time up here too. Damn.
I'm making mine on the rocks. Okay, see ya.
Wow.
And we're back. Round 2 of Mudslides.
Rocks.
Fancy edition.
Ooh. Same, except for less Kahlua. And the vanilla.
Sips. Okay.
Okay, interesting. It's missing something with the more Kahlua. There's that had some body to it. Made it thicker.
This is different. It's not. It's more balanced, maybe in a bad way. It's like it's got less of an identity for me.
I think you're right, Jeff. I think you're exactly right.
The identity before was too sweet, but at least it was something.
It's something. It's cutting through the noise, you know?
Yeah.
This on the rocks right now, it tastes exactly the same, but I feel like when this gets melty, that would be my preferred version, is a little bit diluted.
Well, you like a little clonk, clonk, clonk.
Yeah, listen to this.
Yeah, the foamy cube.
That's so. Why is it that an ice cube in dairy is pleasing to us? But it is. I'm not an ASMR guy, but this really
Ice cube and liquor, though, is pleasing to me, too. Just ice cubes, I guess.
True.
Clink, clink.
Yeah, ASMR is horny though, huh? People are like, it's not a sex thing. That's the first thing they say. People who love ASMR.
But it's sensual.
It's sensory and sensual, is it not?
But and there are ASMRs that are like fully like I'm your girlfriend putting you to bed. Like there are those.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like get in there deep, Jeff. You might never come out.
Drop me a link, dude.
I've seen one on YouTube that's like a lady's like fixing her hair, like reaching to the camera, like, oh, let me brush that. But
ooh, this is a strong email.
I don't think it like I see what is like comforting about something like that, but I will say that the noise, the ASMR crumple of paper or whatever that is, I don't really get. Do you guys get that? Does that hit you guys have the frequency for that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
yeah.
Nice.
But wait, you're talking about like you get little goosebumps when you hear like the nails tapping on like the keyboard and like those little noises.
Yeah. I don't.
Me, yes, I do.
Wow. So the blood is shooting to your extremities, Mike, in those cases.
Is that good?
All the extremities, the hands, the feet.
Does it turn you on? Does it turn you on is my question, Mike.
Jeff.
Is it a sexual thing?
No, I use it for bed.
Confirm or deny. Okay.
Well, it's funny. It's interesting because Mike is also the one who watches pimple popper videos, and me and Jeff do not.
He's a sick fuck, man. He's a perv.
Jeff, you watch him, you said.
Tim, your co-host, a perv, dude.
No,
Bad news for Tim. His co-host.
well, hold on. You Jeff, you also watch the pimple popper.
Yes, because you got me into him.
No, that's
I learned it
got
watching you.
What the hell?
One of my favorite Instagram guys is Luke Foods. He's some young guy who sits in his car and eats fast food. Luke Foods. Luke Foods reviews a lot of the chain restaurants we would have talked about on this very pod. And he sits in his car and he eats food and he reviews it. And I love him. He's a very lovable guy. But he also just spun off. He was like, I'm getting a lot of requests for mukbang and ASMR. So I have a separate account for that. So when he he'll go to like Applebee's or whatever and get a burger and sit in his car and eat it. And he'll post his review on one account. And then on the other account, a supercut of bites and slurps. And I can't, to me, not to yuck anyone's yums, but I followed that account and I was watching and I was like, this is just a guy slopping down food, and it sounds like.
Yeah, the food ASMR I don't think would be good.
Well, because it's the very thing that we avoid here. Like when we eat food, Jeff tells us to lean away from the microphones because we get comments.
Jeff says a lot of crazy things on this.
Yes, no, it's good policy.
But why do the slop heads DM Jeff and say it's gross when meanwhile the whole fucking internet wants to hear Luke Foods eat a burrito?
You're basically the listeners who are complaining are driving the show down.
You just want to snack on Mike, and you're no different, Tim.
I'm snacking on Mike right now. I'm eating these shavings.
I definitely had an ulterior motive last week when we were high, and I was saying, "Oh, did I happen to bring Fritos for the pod?"
I saw right through your little ruse.
Oh, speaking of that, after we drank PBR high seltzers, and we were a little bit toked up. We were hanging at Jeff's and we were like, we're going to watch Freddy Got Fingered, which you should subscribe to our Patreon and hear us talk about Freddy Got Fingered. But
you got to mention the ribs too. Now
Jeff had made some delicious ribs that were sent to
good.
us by Butcher Box, a wonderful product. And then we ate the ribs and they were delicious, but it was like just barely not enough food. Like we each had 3 ribs and we need a little more, but we were a little munchy.
This
so I said, we were talking about ordering food. And then I was like, you know what I'm in the mood for is like chain pizza, like Pizza Hut. And then we ordered Pizza Hut and I got a supreme pie with a stuffed crust.
First timer right here.
Then I got a pepperoni pan pizza and then I got some crazy bread or something. But, you hit order on that thing, it's going to take an hour. And then meanwhile, Duddy has been making some curly fries.
Curly fries.
Arby's curly fries, Arby's brand.
He had them
I've hit
Frozen.
send on this order. Jeff swoops in with the most delicious big baking sheet of curly fries. We're watching the movie. We're dipping in the ketchup and other dips Jeff has. And we three pretty much get full because at the end of the curly fries, we've now eaten ribs and curly fries. That's a dinner,
Don't
right?
speak for me when I'm full. I know when I've had my fill.
But then I feel like we're pretty much full when this large Pizza Hut order
Tim,
arrives.
you don't have unique insight into the stomach of Mike Hanford.
I wish I had an ultrasound so I could look in there and see what's going on.
You're putting the gel on his stomach when he's watching Freddy Got Fingered and bringing out the tools.
Either way, there was a lot of Pizza Hut left over because I got us a lot. And then Mike packed it up, brought it back to my place. Mike flew back to New York. Now I find myself with an entire Pizza Hut pizza in my fridge.
I wish I brought that with me.
As your carry-on.
Yeah.
Or check it. Put it on the conveyor belt. But I will say this. On the night, I think I geeked out over the ribs and fries more and wasn't hungry for the pizza. But I got to tell you, I had a whole week of waking up and having one slice of Pizza Hut pizza for breakfast every morning, nuking up. And it kept
good.
so well in the fridge and it nuked up. Pizza normally doesn't nuke
It's
up.
not food. It's
How?
it's
How?
fake.
Pizza Hut is the only pizza on earth that would nuke up well. But I just had the best week of my life eating pizza for breakfast every morning. It was so good. It was better.
That's exciting.
Damn. That was my first Supreme pizza. I remember I took a bite.
And stuffed crust?
Yeah, I think I'd had stuffed crust before, and I've definitely had Pizza Hut before.
Sure.
I did book it, didn't I?
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
I got the X-Men VHS tapes, don't I? But I didn't know that like they were known for Pizza Hut was known for its Supreme pizza.
Yeah.
That's a nice big like doughy casserole of a bite, you know?
Other places don't call it a Supreme, right? That's a Pizza Hut.
No,
thing.
they say deluxe or whatever their house special is or whatever. But
Taco Bell says Supreme, but it doesn't mean the same thing. Mike.
it's slightly different. There's something about, like, I would never get excited about a black olive on its own, but there's something about a pizza that has like the sausage and the green pepper and the black olive and the pepperoni. You bite into all of it, you say, "Oh, mama!"
Plus, now you're telling me that the crust is stuffed.
And the cheese in the crust is so good; it's like polio string cheese.
Yeah.
Yes.
It ain't just stuffed with more crust stuffing.
I thought it was undercooked, and I said I was going to say, guys, the crust is still doughy.
The crust isn't a must.
And then I noticed there was a little zing, and I said, "Is this fucking cheese?"
I give Pizza Hut a really good review, and I think as much as we lament that Pizza Hut locations don't exist, like the sit-down version we all love, the pizza has been cheapened and
Shrinkflated.
Still, I still love it. There's a butteriness to Pizza Hut that takes me back in the way I always say, I wish I had the McDonald's nostalgia that you guys have. I have it for Pizza Hut.
So it's baked in a buttery, crispy crust.
Tim, I have that one too.
I have that, but I have like the Ratatouille food critic moment of taking a bite and being shot back to your childhood.
Yeah. I'll have the ratatouille.
I miss the aesthetic of the Pizza Hut dining, lunch buffet? Yeah, the buffet. When they used kale as a decoration. Back when you didn't eat kale.
Yeah.
You used it as decor.
You put it in an Easter basket or something.
And at the end of the buffet line, the salad buffet, there was a tub of pudding. Chocolate pudding that you'd put on the same plate and it would get into your salad.
It also, like, the one I'm thinking of had brass rails. And so did Wendy's. Wendy's would have brass rails and stuff, and they would have like a greenhouse sloped.
It had what I thought of as a fern bar
door. Yeah, like they both have like fern bar aesthetics.
And it's funny you mentioned the pudding because at my Wendy's in Kingston, the dessert on the buffet, there was like a salad bar. That's weird.
You had a salad bar at a Wendy's?
Yes, we had because they have baked potatoes there. I think that maybe you could put your own bacon bits and cheese on your potato. But there's a salad bar at Wendy's, and the dessert on there was ambrosia.
Weird.
It was like marshmallow fluff that has grapes and it's pink. And
That's so strange. That does. It's like when McDonald's and Wendy's, when people refer to them as restaurants, that's like the last bastion of that being a restaurant that I think of as a restaurant.
As a Greek, it would be cool if I ate ambrosia a lot because that's what isn't that like what they ate on Mount Olympus? Like
Yeah, it would be cool as a Greek if you did that.
you guys wouldn't understand.
Yeah, we wouldn't mind.
There should be a separate little segment of this podcast that's just Greek talk, and you guys have to check out for a second.
You should do it. That could be another tier.
Christos Anesti, all.
Yes.
Okay, so I love this drink specifically as an after dinner sweet drink, like a Brandy Alexander or a Grasshopper, and it did successfully conjure what I wanted, which was the family restaurant. Mom having one of these, not my mom, but somebody's mom having one of these as dessert. It's great.
I think you just said Grasshopper, Tim. This would be great with a Thin Mint or a Oreo crumbled up on top of it. That would be good. This is great. This is an order again for me. And I was going to say I'm excited to try it like at a professional restaurant, but I use top shelf brands here. I use name brand Kahlua.
They're not going to
Bailey's.
top that at Applebee's.
You're not going to top it. And this is it. I don't know what else they can do.
I'm happy to hear you say I thought you were going to say it was pretty good, but you're not going to order it again because it's so weird and desserty.
No, I'll order it again.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm going to order again as well. And I don't think it's one of the goats or whatever we say. Stone Cold Classic. It's not. Yeah. It's not. But it's a good. What's the word? Harbinger of what's to come on the Sloppy Boys podcast.
Was it worth Tim's hype?
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, it was because we never had it before. Yeah, it was great. You know what else would be good in this? Go the other way with it. Put some crushed up Nilla wafers on top.
Oh,
Nilla.
Nilla wafers go good with banana. We should have banana liqueur, vodka, heavy cream, crush up Nilla wafers on top of that.
Hey.
My boy.
Nilla wafers are coming back.
It's called the banana boat. I just invented it.
Do you remember Vienna fingers? Not vanilla fingers. Vienna fingers.
Lady fingers.
Huh?
Are they in tiramisu?
No, these are cookies. They're a little long. They're sandwich cookies. Vienna fingers. I think they were by Sunshine. I could be wrong. Or Nabisco.
Not to offend Nabisco. Wait. Say it one more time. I'm Googling it. What is it called?
Vienna fingers. They were in like a red blister wrap.
Oh, Jeff, I'm seeing Keebler Vienna fingers that are like a cream filled. It looks like a golden Oreo.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say, I don't remember this Keebler edition. I remember like an even older edition that I can't even find. Oh yeah, here it is.
Oh, I'm seeing an old version that seems like something you would have at high tea in Europe or something.
Yeah. The big red box, the red one. Anyway, I missed Vienna fingers, and then I had a golden Oreo, and I said, they're back. They're just circles now.
Jeff is a big Oreo guy. He loves lime. He loves Oreo flavor. All the different new Oreos. He likes them all.
He was at the Oscar party. He was eating some type of Oreo. It was like a double stuff or something, Jeff. It was like a...
Mitch had the dirt pie
That's
Oreos.
What it was. Dirt
cake.
Tim brought the caramel coconut Oreos.
Oh, those are bangers.
I didn't try those.
And listen to this. I brought a big bag of Dots pretzel sticks, and I didn't get the back pats and handshakes that I thought I deserved. This was to our friend Mitch's. And then next day, I thought I'd been long forgotten.
Yeah.
Mitch texts me, Catman. I said, yeah. Did you bring the Dots pretzel sticks? I said, yeah. He goes, these are so good. And I say, thank you.
There you go.
And they got cheese curls with a little seal on them that say certified with the same dust as our pretzel sticks.
No way they certified the dust. I tried to find, first of all, I feel like shit.
What is it? What are we doing here? We're talking about pizza and chips. Let's get the hell out of here.
This is important stuff.
Shit. This is a long episode. Fuck.
Mitch had me bring fruit.
Did no one eat it?
No, people like nibbled at it, but like, you think I'm getting backpacks for fruit?
Well, that was the thing too. He asked me to buy a veggie tray, which I did.
You got to provide a square meal when people visit your house to watch the Oscars?
I didn't bring anything. I slipped him a 20. I said,
it was the Oscars.
You know I'm good for it.
Was it the Oscars or the Super Bowl?
It was the Oscars. I mean, we did both, but Oscars was this one. Anyway, Jeff, it supports your theory. Every new Oreo is very good. That's our show.
That's our show. Follow us on social media at The Sloppy Boys, where we release these recipes ahead of time. Go to patreon.com/The Sloppy Boys and get all that new good stuff we always talk about. This week, it's Freddy Got Fingered. You're going to want to hear about that. It's on Criterion. It's brand new. It's being appreciated for the very first time.
Also on Plex. I'm watching it on Plex.
Plex.
Oh.
And with ads, it's free TV. It's Plex.
Right on. Good episode, dudes. This was a very fun, silly one.
Real good. It feels good to be unshackled by the IBA.
Me too. No strings attached here on the Sloppy Boys podcast.
I'm curious what we're going to do next. But, excuse me, I think for the end of this one.
No spoilies, though, right?
No spoilies, but for the end of this episode, let's throw in a song where we mention the word mud. College night. Harvey Mudd.
A college, one of the Claremont colleges in Pomona, California.
Booyah.
Here you go, folks. Enjoy. Crank it.
Bye.
And open up the windows.
And go under the table and get dreaming, because it's that type of a song.
And anything else to add, Mike?
Nope, I'm starting my AC.
Okay. Bye, folks.
Gonzaga! Yeah, Gonzaga! Oh, Gonzaga! Hey, Gonzaga! And also RISD. But the deans are gone. Oh, the deans, they're gone, and they're crying, they're gone to Fire Island, Maine or Vermont. They're gone, and they're all alone in the summer homes until fall semester, 'cause they couldn't bear it, and they'll never see all those grads again, never relive the times that they've had as friends, 'cause they're gone. They're long gone, but that's the life of a dean. You gotta touch the teens. You say goodbye and then you do it all again. Here we go. It's college night. It's college night. It's college night out on the quad. It's college night. It's college night. It's college night for everyone. Oh, that valedictorian's up in a dorm kicking herself, man. Ah, she's full of regrets. Ah, but that's what she gets. She should have gone to wing night. Should've gone to wing night. A dip of celery stick in the blue cheese dip. Got that big tech job waiting for her out in the Bay, boy. But she never danced, and now she missed the chance. What once a ones and twos are now ones and zeros. What once a ones and twos are now ones and zeros. What once a ones and twos are now ones and zeros. What once a ones and twos are now ones and zeros. Cash out your meal plan, my baby got ya. Cash out your meal plan, my baby got ya. Cash out your meal plan, my baby got ya. Cash out your meal plan, my baby got ya. Fill your pockets up with the ketchup factor. Fill your pockets up with the ketchup factor. Fill your pockets up with the hot ketchup. It's college night. It's college night. It's college night out on the quad. It's college night. It's college night. It's college night. Oh Christ, oh God. Them townies hoisting each other up that South Campus wall. Oh, they just want to peek. Oh yeah, they just want to see. Grad night banners, flags flying high. Oh, but to them it's all Greek. Because the townies can't read. I'm just keeping out that one, man. Just messing around with that one. Don't kick my ass, man. Just having a little fun. Cause it's 2 for 1. 2 for 1. 2 for 1 SoCo. SoCo. A 3 for 1. A 3 for 1. 3 for 1 lemon drop. Lemon drop. 4 for 1. 4 for 1. 4 for 1 kamikaze shot. Kamikaze shot. 4 for 1. 4 for 1. Bottles of Dom Perignon, baby. It's college night. It's college night. It's college night out on the quad. It's college night. It's college night. It's college night for Asher off. Farewell! Arrivederci! I said adiosa! Later, dude. Later, dude.